Okay, thanks to everybody that's followed me and liked the video so far. Uh, every time that somebody subscribes or likes a video, it makes me want to do more because obviously somebody wants to watch it, and it's just going to be nice to document from my point of view through my journey and the challenges that I face, the successes that I have, and maybe where things that not gone so well. Um, it's not just about the physical journey, and obviously so far I've put 10 videos up, and they're all to do with the physical journey on this sort of Nupo diet system and the effect it's having on me so far, which has been really good. On the opposite side to the physical health, you've got your mental health as well, and mental health is really so important, and I see so much in life that people can really struggle, and it's not necessarily because of the health, but that could be one of the reasons. Other people could be struggling because of relationships, because of money, so many different things, and because of work. It's quite a big deal. You spend a lot of time at work to get that nice balance where you're feeling mentally fit as well as physically fit. And one of the big problems that you get with men is that they struggle often. Certainly, men of a certain age struggle to talk. They don't like talking to people. They don't like opening up about things. It's not just men, but we do tend to find it with men. So, what can you do? Well, I think it starts out first at when do you know that things are wrong, and how can you say that things are actually not going right? You can feel a bit rough. You can feel a bit rubbish. You can feel that you're not too happy about stuff. Feeling a bit down. Feeling a bit anxious. And anxiety and depression are two of the big things that we look. And I'm not a health professional, but I can just tell you about what I know from my own experience. So, I mean, a first step often can be you're going down to see a GP. There are things like talking therapies, which can be something that you can actually self-refer to. So without even going to see a GP, you can actually go online and you can self-refer on the grounds of what? Well, talking about anxiety and depression, there are two major tests that are actually done to see where you are, to see how anxious you are and how depressed you are. And the anxiety one is called GAD-7, and the depression one is called PHQ-9. And they're not things that are going to roll off the tongue or things to remember. But what I've actually done is I've put links to just live questionnaires that are actually up there on the internet. Now, these are purely designed to for you to actually pick your levels that you are based off on each question, and at the end you get a score, and that'll give you some kind of idea as to what clinically they would suggest that you are. So if you actually look on the links that are actually given on here, you can see there. This is really for a GP or a health professional to be asking. So talking about do you feel nervous, anxious, or on edge? Is that not at all? And you can see all these questions have got not at all picked on there so far. And at the bottom, it says 0 points, no anxiety disorder. So if you're feeling nervous nearly every day, you select that, it adds points. And you'd have to go through each question. There's not that many questions, but you're just going through and selecting. I'm just going to click at random on these things and to see that actually based off those questions, the last one is a little bit different. It's about how this affects your work. But you can see there from just this random pick that I've put on there, it's 14 points. Moderate anxiety disorder finds it very difficult to perform life tasks due to their symptoms. So this is a bit of a self referral in the sense that you can actually go on there and you can see what they're looking for. On the other one, which is the PHQ-9, this is to do with depression, and you can see there it follows the same format. So little interest or pleasure in doing things. Are you fidgety? Is it having an effect on your appetite, etc.? And based off your choices on here, let's put them up there, pretty high up, and you can see there 24 point scores 20 and greater suggests severe depression. Should have immediate initiation of pharmacotherapy and expedited referral to mental health specialist. The patient finds it very difficult to perform life tasks due to their symptoms. I think very interesting that actually this last question is quite a biggie. Next to the last question, thoughts that you'd be better off dead, or thoughts of hurting yourself in some way. And obviously, as I say, I'm not a health professional. If you are actually thinking any of these other than the top one, then there are people that you can seek immediate help from, such as the Samaritans, and I'll stick a number down there as well in the description. So this is really just a bit of a rule of thumb to see how you are. And I mentioned talking therapies earlier. Now, talking therapies is something that so you can then put in the name of your surgery, and that I'll actually give you a link. So if I just put some random place in there, you can see it comes up with places. So say for instance, if I've got this one, I can continue, and there's a link there to start a form where you fill out the details, and what will happen is that they will get back in touch with you. I think you put your contact details in there, they'll get back in touch with you, and then they'll book a call. Starts off with a call to start off with, just to ask you how you are. They'll also send you a link a couple of days before any meeting to the GAD-7 and the PHQ-9, so they can gauge how your feelings change over that time. And talking therapy is a fantastic service. They do a standard one and basically look at what you may need, and it may be that you just need to go on a course. So they do courses on things like stress. They can refer you to counselling as well, and it may be to do with counselling, to do with relationships, but it may be to do with one-to-one counselling. So that's something that they can do through that. And this is all part of the NHS, so we're already paying for this. I'm not saying it's free, because we're already paying for this. This is to get your talking therapy referral. You can also go down to the GP, talk to them about it, and they can refer you as well. I would recommend you do, but if you don't want to go down initially, then you can actually do the referral yourself. Another facility that they've got as well is an employment side, which is just currently rolling out across the country, and what that is they will talk to you about if it's any issues to do with work. If you've got any problems to do with work, it may be that you've not got a job and you're struggling to apply for a job, in which case they can help you. If you've got any problems at work, they can talk through from even a legal point of view. Really good addition to their services. That's the employment service, and that would come from the initial phone call to do with talking therapy, so they can add you onto that. So that's something you can do. Also as well, from a male perspective, I heard about Andy's Man Club, and if you don't know about Andy's Man Club, then it's okay to talk. But a men's suicide prevention charity. Now that's underlined. However, this is about conversations. It's about saying it's okay to talk, and I think is a wristband. The Andy's Man Club, and it's okay to talk. Now I thought to myself, I'm not suicidal, but we all have problems, and it can be sometimes difficult. It can be difficult to talk to your partners, your friends, and finding a place where you're there to talk about any problems you've got is really good. It's not just about suicide prevention, it's about assisting people collectively. You basically go on here and find where your local one is, and there's loads and loads, and you sometimes find that they're in places that you're already familiar with going to, which really helps. Now, when I went down to Andy's Man Club, there were people actually outside there waiting for anybody that they'd not seen before. Shook my hand and said, welcome. First time, go in and get yourself a cuppa. So they've got tea and biscuits and stuff like that. They sit around in a circle. You start off basically by saying, go through your name and why you're here. I think it's 5 questions during the evening, generally about a couple of hours. Quite often it's on a Monday, 7 o'clock. So you start, this is me, this is why I'm here. Then you talk about things like, give us a go over of how things have gone for you this week. Another question may be, what positive can you take from the week? And then after that would be anything you need to get off your chest. You realise when you're sat in amongst, could be a dozen there, and quite often they have to split over several rooms. but these are all people just there just to help and just to support each other. So there's a lot of people going through a lot of issues, and it is absolutely fantastic. And once you go over that, there's usually a couple of questions at the end which are a little bit more light-hearted and such like that. But they'll have a break halfway through to refresh your teas and coffees. But yeah, Andy's Man Club is a really, really good thing to do. Now, is there a Andrea's Women's Club to go along with that? Well, no, not necessarily, but apparently there's something that's just starting off called the Women's Wellbeing Club. At the minute, it seems like it's a Scottish thing mostly. When you look at the locations, I think there's a thing about locations, but again, they're using the hashtags. It looks very, very similar, and I think this is something that we'll expand upon. Despite the fact that women generally find it easier and have more people around them that they can generally talk to on a daily basis. But I certainly will recommend Andy's Man Club. I'll recommend Talking Therapies. And it could just be that you've just got something that's playing on your mind. It could be some kind of money issue. It could be something family related. It could be work related. It could be anything that really is perhaps putting you on edge or making you feel down. And this just gives you an opportunity to be able to just go through stuff. And sometimes, it may be that there's a really straightforward answer. So these are the things that I've come across so far, and hopefully if anybody happens to go and click on anything, if you end up visiting Andy's Man Club and you really enjoy it, that's a great thing. There's people that have been going just on that. There's people that have been going there for a year or two, and they've been in a situation where they've initially wanted to get something from the club. They've wanted to talk to people and tell people about what's been going on in their life. But then things sort themselves out over time, and they're going through better times. But they still keep going down to the club because they want to keep giving back to other people. And you get people that turn up for the first time, as I turned up for the first time, and they're a bit nervous about speaking. You don't have to speak. So you sit in the circle, and what they've got is a talking ball. You pass the ball on. When the ball comes to you, it's your time to talk, but others can chip in. If you've got nothing to say, just pass it on, and nobody queries that. That's not a problem at all. It's all about being a collective, being about people who you go there on a regular basis and you just get to know them. You get to know them all, and when you break for a cuppa, you pop over and have a chat with them and say, I feel for you, what you're going through, and such like. It could be that somebody talks about, things like music that you've got common interests in and stuff like that. So it's a really great social event, whilst you always feel better when you come out of there, which is fantastic. So hopefully from a mental side, that might have given you a little bit of a look into what's available. Bye for now.